Good morning. Good morning. Oh,
Happy Shamanic Sundays, everybody. And to you, Dad. Good to see you there.
good to see you there. And who's ever listening?
How are you today?
I'm good. Looking forward with curiosity to what questions are coming through here.
Yeah, we got a couple of interesting ones this week. So we'll get into that in just a second. But first, you were playing, when we were checking our audio and everything, you were playing your, what's it called? The ocarina.
No, xylophone.
Was it the xylophone?
Yeah.
And I was thinking maybe we would start today with that. And you could just play that for a second and then offer a little prayer to begin the morning. And welcoming all of our friends and community members out there. Hello, hello. Always good to see in the chat where you're from. If you want to add that in, we always love that. So, yeah.
You hear that?
I hear it. Love it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And prayer of gratitude for bringing us together here today and for the gift of life and the gift of an incarnation in a human body that's able to hear vibrations, acoustic sound waves coming through the air, what I just heard, and have the awareness and sensitivity to notice is that those sound waves come into you, they have an effect, and you can open and breathe. You help those good feelings to move through your body and the breath out to release and let go. So gratitude to the creator of the universe. Gratitude for sacred right now, gratitude for life and the opportunity to open our awareness to Spirit's presence and see what might come through the questions and responses that might be able to bring through some good medicine for our lives and healing of the sacred who. Gratitude to the ancestor spirits and sacred right now. Oh.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We've gotten a couple of really sweet emails from folks, someone in Brazil, really appreciating us doing this, and another person in Texas, in Austin. So yeah, and we just it's interesting because oftentimes I'm like, oh shoot, I have to do this on Sunday morning. I forgot about it, or I just want to chill, or whatever. And then when we create the space, it's always so nice, and I feel like it helps me ground and center for the week ahead. And so I'm really grateful that we're doing this together too, and it just is fun being able to share your wisdom in another way. I bumped into a friend of ours, like a family friend of ours, at an event on Friday night, and he shared too that he's really been enjoying this. So it's very cool. So thank you all for being here, and thank you, Poppy, for doing the work that you do, bringing through some of the ancient good teachings that you've been that you earned the honor of learning and share and pass on so generously. So, okay. So the first question that came through is, can shamanic practices be integrated with other spiritual or religious beliefs? So I'm guessing the person is like feeling maybe conflicted, like maybe they were raised in a more, say Catholic or Jewish tradition, and they're wondering if venturing into shamanism is going to like create conflicts of interest or something. So who knows? I'm projecting that part. It was a pretty simple question.
So the answer is why yes. There's the quick to the point. Yes. Excuse me. Let me elaborate a little further with that. Shamanic practices are to help open the doorway of awareness to a larger bandwidth, to spirit, to the quantum field. The practices are to open up that doorway to that expanded state of consciousness. And then through skillful relationship with that expanded state of consciousness, call on its help, its wisdom to bring through healing, transformation, whatever the intention of the practice is, brings through that kind of accessing the wisdom power of the universe, accessing that power and creativity. Then where do you want to apply it? That's up to the individual practitioner. So if you have a religious tradition or belief system and practices of Sufi, Islam, of Christian, of Jewish, of Sikh, of whatever it might be, of Buddhism, of Taoism, of whatever it might be, you can use that the flow of that power coming to you through opening the doorway to access the infinite power of God, spirit. Basically, that's what you're accessing. Mm-hmm. And you can let that energy then support you in the practices of your individual religion and philosophy. So bringing the two together with extra power for richer results. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I may have heard after a ceremony once, I think someone brought something up actually about having like some sort of Jesus connection. Like I'm just like having these little pieces of a memory. I feel like it was a woman around my age, and she was talking about being raised Catholic, and something in a plant medicine ceremony felt like it like really affirmed a lot of her Jesus as love beliefs and that stuff. So yeah, so it can be strengthening. All right, cool. Anything else you want to add on that?
No, I think that's just that. That's good enough, to use the practices to help you in your spiritual practice and your religious practices.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, good enough. Thank you. So then the other question is a little bit about mental health. So I did a little research to just look at some of the latest data. And according to the World Health Organization, approximately 1 in 4 people worldwide will experience a mental health crisis at some point in their lives. Depression is one of the leading causes of disability worldwide, affecting more than 264 million people. So the person who sent us an email wrote about feeling out of control and overwhelmed, and that leading to a sense of anxiety, and asking if there are some shamanic practices that he can use to help myself, he or she, or they feel more centered and in control of what I can control. So, yeah. It's a good one.
Practices when I'm feeling overwhelmed and anxious and out of control, shamanic practices that might be able to help me.
Yeah. What immediately comes to mind with me is, and actually I shared with the women who were on the Nature Wise weekend last weekend, which by the way, went really, really well. It was this really great group of women, very courageous and sweet, and they did great work. And it was really, really wonderful and fun and beautiful to hear what their experience was. And so thank you, ladies who came, and I'll keep this community posted on future events. But one of the things that came up was something that I've learned in ceremony with you is when something does come up that's like scary, or feels threatening, is to like ask it why it's there and meet it and what do you hear? What can I learn from you? Why did you show up? So that's something that comes to mind for me, but I'm sure you'll have a lot more to say about it.
Well, feeling overwhelmed is in essence an assessment of a situation that says, I don't have what the tools I need to be able to control a situation.
Mm.
And so that produces anxiety because I'm not in control. And so that triggers fear and what can happen. And then the ego mind races off with its creativity to come up with all kinds of fears.
Mhm.
And given the state of the world we're in, a lot of fears that people have are actually a part of mental health because of what we're doing. It's trying to help us wake up.
Mhm.
What we're doing that's causing so many catastrophes and so many levels and breakdown in the world. So it's not an enemy, and fear itself is not an enemy. And like an experience you have on a journey in life itself, whatever comes up it's happening. You're experiencing the reality of the situation, and so I'm feeling out of control, overwhelmed with what's going on in the world, what's happening in my life. I don't have the tools to be able to deal with it. It's more than I can handle. It's more than I can handle. So if we kind of slow down and drop a little deeper and look at the wording of that, it's more than I can handle. So within that is identification with ego.
Mm-hmm.
That within my ego and rational mind, I don't have tools or knowledge or skills to be able to deal with what's happening inside of me. So it freaks that part of my mind out. And it's true, I don't have the tools to deal with it from that ego identity.
Mm-hmm.
That can be the feeling of that overwhelming anxiety can be, it can be a wake up stimulus, you might say, to recognition. Wait a minute, I was asleep up to this moment in my identity as ego, thinking that's all there is to me, separate from other people, other beings, from nature, separate from everything, which itself induces anxiety, separation. So when I face and accept that I don't have what I feel I need to control or deal with the situation, then and I accept that reality, that doesn't have to be the end of the game. I can, in waking up, remember, wait a minute, I'm way more than my ego. I'm way more than its stories. In fact, I'm connected and have access to the infinite creative wisdom power of the universe. That's the true essence of my being. The light and love energy of that is the true essence of my being. And so it's like a native teacher taught me many years ago. There's a difference between giving up and surrendering. Giving up is kind of like quitting, shutting down, and with a sense of resignation and defeat and negative energy, versus, she said, you take those feelings of overwhelm and fear and anxiety, and you take them and you surrender them to spirit. You give them back to spirit. So you don't resist them, you don't make them bad judgment. You just breathe it out and give it back to spirit, and open to that part of ourselves that's more than our ego. I don't have to be in control of everything. In fact, there's a bigger power, there's a bigger force that's running the show, that creates it, sustains it, manifests it. And if that source pulled the plug on its energy, boom, the whole universe pops, disappears, dissolves like that. So we can use the experience of overwhelm, fear, and anxiety that's appropriate to what's happening in the world to help us wake up and remember that we're more than our ego identity. We're more than our physical body. And by accessing that more, then we also access a sense of peace. We also access a sense of awe. How about trying on awe for the magnificence of the universe that we're a part of, and that's in us and we're in. And activating the whole show and opening up to, with the next breath is coming in clean energy, clean fuel, clean life force, fueling my life, giving me opportunity with the gift of awareness to choose what I put my attention into. And when I put my attention into identifying the totality of my being as my ego state, that's true. You're not going to control everything. It's bigger functioning than what your ego can control. So of course you're going to freak out, but you can use that to wake up. You can use that freak out as a stimulus to wake up and, oh, wait a minute, I'm more than my ego. I am this, I am connected to this larger presence, whatever you want to call it. God, the spirit, Tao, the quantum field, cosmic foam, infinite. That's who I am. The deepest part of me existed before it came into this physical body. And the deepest part of who and what I am will continue to exist after this body that essence lives in for the period of its lifetime, goes back into the earth, dissolves, and the essence that was underlying the skin and the ego identity, the connection with oneness that was always there, all of a sudden is now without any barrier of separation through perception of ego and identity, is back into the oneness that it never really left. So to be able to access that oneness, using a quote from Christianity, from Jesus, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It doesn't say after you physically die, it's in you. He's teaching us that we have access to a state of consciousness within us, of bliss, of peace, of healing, of transformation, of beauty, of creativity. So what are the practices you can use, shamanic practices? One of the practices that I've mentioned before and always will is every morning the sun comes up in the east. We haven't seen the sun here for a couple of weeks now. In Santa Barbara, it's cloudy and dark and rainy and drizzly, but it's there. It's beyond the other side of the clouds. I just have to work a little harder to connect my consciousness with it, but it's there in equal measure as it is when there's no cloud. So the practice of just when you get up in the morning, facing the east, or lighting a candle inside when you can't see the sun, and realize that light is coming from the sun and coming from the creative power of the universe, and it's sending you light, sending you love, it's sending you teachings, medicine, wisdom, and it's helping you remember that what it's showing you is your own illumination, the truth of your own luminosity as a sacred, worthy, luminous being. We're fueled by stardust. Our bodies are composed of stardust. It's all about stardust. And there it is right there in front of you with that candle. So breathe it in, breathe in that light, let it flow through you, heal you, inspire you, enlighten you. Breathe out and let go with the gift of release. Breath no longer needed, thoughts, feelings, energies that don't serve you, and just slowly bring your awareness down to your heart beating and sending out the life force, pumping it out 24/7, a teacher of unconditional love itself, and open to receive that love. Breathe into it. Notice you can expand it as you pay attention to it. You can expand its brightness, its color, its strength, its vibrational power to flow through your body, bringing through healing energy, and you can send it out into the world, into the field, to your loved ones, your family, your friends, the people you know who are suffering, the world itself, to the animals. You can be a channel for healing, light, and love. And when you do that, focus on giving as compared to getting or controlling, you have a totally different experience of an enrichment of being alive in the moment, an enrichment of your life. So there you go.
Oh, thank you. As you were talking about that and thinking of the question about feeling out of control and anxious and using these practices, I had an image of, because you were talking about like the id, the ego, I had this image of like that id, the ego, like being literally like stuck down in a black cavern, like in your belly almost, or not yours, but like one's belly. And like this little kid, like trying to get out, like, let me out, you know? And so it's like, when you're in that cave, you can't see any of the light. Right. So, so it's like, when you're in that cave, how can you get out so you can see the light? So I love that you talked about remembering to greet the sun, because that's, bringing through the gratitude and remembering that it's there, even when you can't see it, right? It's still shining, giving us its life-giving energy. So.
Yeah, check this out. When our eyes are closed, and you can just, if you're listening now, you can just let your eyes close and just notice what you experience in your awareness. Blackness, right? There's darkness, right?
Well, there's little white flecks too.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So I was curious. There's light somehow being generated inside of us when we close our eyes.
Yeah.
So I was curious about how is that happening, and I did some research on it, and I found that the retina, the cells in the retina, continue to fire when the eyes are closed.
Hmm.
So there's something happening in the retina, those cells, that's generating light. So
Hmm.
it's like little miniature suns that even when we close our eyes and we can't see the outer sun, we go inside and there is light in the darkness,
Hmm.
literally. And what a metaphor. We can bring light in. There's light available to us in dark times if we open to it, if we
Hmm.
attune to it, and then call on it to give us strength and persistence and faith and trust to keep going with an open heart and do the best we can to share our gifts, addressing the challenges in the world and what we can do to create skillful relationship to them that brings through healing of the sacred hoop and supportive life, healthy and diverse, just, peaceful, beautiful life.
Yeah. I, I love just remembering that there's always light that we can bring through, no matter how much darkness feels like there's all around. There's always light. I think that's something that Nicole and I've tried to, instill and teach the boys too, since they were little. So what do you think about like leading us through a little breathing exercise that helps us when we're getting into that tense, anxious, in the cave, in the darkness, feeling out of control, feeling, like if we're at the office and we're dealing with something like that, or in a family dynamic or a romantic, relationship dynamic that gets tense or something. Just a couple minutes of like a breathing practice that can help us reconnect with the light.
Okay, well, let's go inside then.
Okay.
Working with energy here, and we can feel, or I can feel energy and actually see energy with my eyes closed, through that light, with the retina cells firing. And the light that's generated in those retinal cells is ultimately coming from the sun, going back to the Big Bang creation of our universe. So with the gift of awareness, take a moment to take a breath and hold it, just hold it. And just don't let it out, just hold it. Hold that breath and just hold it. And notice what you're experiencing as you're holding it. Are you experiencing peace, ease, comfort? Just notice what you're experiencing and then let it go. Breathe freely and let yourself notice what you experience when you let go. A little more comfort and ease when we let go as compared to holding on and constricting, which is what we do when we feel threatened. What the organism and the body, the energy body, physical body, mental body, emotional body does when it feels threatened. It constricts, gets tight, and actually then it inflames the system. And stress hormones running through our body and activating organs and glands in ways that you don't want to sustain for very long because it's not good for us. Short-term emergency, yeah, but not for the long run. So whenever we're noticing that constriction or that tightness and that inflammation through fear and anxiety, in a social situation, in a family situation, in a work situation, give thanks for the gift of awareness and noticing what you're experiencing and just calling it out to yourself silently. Oh, wow, I'm feeling tight. I'm feeling constricted. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling inflamed. I'm feeling scared, whatever it is you're feeling, just noticing it. And remember to breathe as you're noticing it. Breathing out, breathing in, fresh energy, breathing out, and noticing you can let go if you choose, because everything starts with intention. And if your intention is to open to peace, to the flow of peace coming in with the breath, guess what? It is. There is peace flowing in with the breath. If you bring your intention to notice it, that means bringing your attention to noticing the breath coming in and opening to receive that peace and letting it flow where it needs to go, flowing through your system, wherever it needs to go, bringing through its healing flow and the loosening of muscles and tendons and tied up in knots and untying, unfurling, and the free releasing of energy, of tension, leaving the body with the out breath. Bringing your mind to remembering this moment is the only time I can ever experience whatever I want to experience. Solamente ahora, only now. So just asking that question. What is it I want to experience in this moment of being alive? Raises consciousness, raises awareness from unconscious reactivity programs to making a conscious choice. And if your choice is for deeper relaxation, if your choice is for softening, opening, grounding, centering, strengthening, whatever your intention is, bringing your attention to the breath flowing into you and giving thanks for those qualities flowing into you and saying, whatever that quality is, I breathe in peace. I breathe in comfort and ease. I breathe in joy. I breathe in light. And I breathe out and I let go, and then whatever quality of consciousness or being, energy you want to let go. Then I breathe out and I let go judgment. And I breathe out and let go rigidity and constriction. And I breathe out inflexibility. I breathe out whatever doesn't serve my deepening connection to my ability to experience inner peace now. And I use this moment of being alive to wake up and remember who and what I really am. That I am love, a sacred, worthy being of luminosity. That I am loved. And my love is for giving and receiving. I open to receive it with the breath flowing in. And I send it out to, if I'm in an interactional situation with another person, family, friend, work, colleague, boss, whatever. And I send out some healing light and love to this other person. And I let go whatever doesn't serve my deepening inner peace. And so every breath that comes in, wherever we are, wherever we go, is the gift of life, brings us fuel and gives us freedom of choice about how we want to use that gift of life force fuel to create suffering. And if so, then we choose to think that all we are is our ego, its stories, and the feelings or experiences, sensations that I'm experiencing right now in this moment. And while those feelings and sensations are real, it's not who I am. Who I am is connected to the awareness that's noticing those feelings. And that awareness is that's present in the moment, to the cyclic rhythm of life, new breath, activation of life, letting go, death, release of the old, letting go. Pause in the great cycle of life, death, and rebirth comes the new breath, activating life. And we can co-create with spirit, the source that gives us that light, that love force, that inflow of oxygen. How we use the instrument of our mind to make conscious choice with clear intention of what it is we want to experience. And then we're empowered to co-create that experience. So whatever the interaction is that initially triggers the discomfort out of the comfort zone, the anxiety, fear, tension, inflammation, constriction, uptightness, negativity, snap toward the other or toward the self with judgment. Harshness is really violent energy, and just to notice it and breathe it out. No judgments about those experiences. In fact, they're allies helping us to wake up to how we were asleep and thinking we were just our egos and our stories, responding from that level of our being. And this situation, whatever it might be, gives us opportunity to break through that membrane that separates our awareness from the infinite, unconditional light, love, energy that we truly are, fueled and empowered with each new breath in and each cleansing breath out, polishing up our stardust to be as fully present in our experience in the moment, with an open heart, a peaceful mind, a soft belly, and a channel for the healing light and love flowing into and through us and out into the world. And these are tools of attitude, of behavior, of focus of thought, of meditation, of accessing spirit to help shape shift energy states from a suffering one to one of greater ease and comfort and aliveness and enjoyment and being present here in this moment of experiencing our lives.
Oh, that was very relaxing and peaceful and inspiring all at the same time.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Bringing us together here in this way.
Yeah. As I was primarily present, but then I had a moment where I snapped back to, oh yeah, I'm helping, with the technical stuff here. And just feeling so grateful that these teachings that you're offering are now being, they're all on your YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tom Pinkson, and folks can watch them at any time and share with, friends or family that they, feel like could use these teachings. So not just on Sunday mornings, although we love being here live with you, but please just, share in general, because the world needs more love and light and needs each of us to step into our light and shine. So thank you for helping us all do that, Poppy, and love to all of you out there and to your families and loved ones and anybody who needs a little extra light today.
Oh,
we'll see you next week. All right. Thanks. Take care. Bye.